The biggest thing working with Susie is putting all of our operations in place and SOPs. That has been huge because we were able to dial in on um, operations that we thought were in place that actually were not in place. No matter how long you've been in business, whether it's 1 year or like us, 35 years, it's never too late or too soon to get on board with Susie's company. I'm telling you, I regret not having this in my life and in our company's life way before now. I really do. And you young entrepreneurs out there, jump on it because it will save you so much heartache and stress. Get on it because I wish we had done it a long time ago.
All right, Debbie. So can you describe your business and what you do?
Yes, I have a brick and mortar retail store of 35 years with 5 locations and also e-commerce business. And we sell ladies' clothing to most all ages, primarily uh, 35 to 55 years old, and trendy to professional to fun to casual, cocktail, dressing you head to toe.
And looking fabulous, I might add.
Yes, and looking fabulous, feeling like $1 million when you walk out the door.
You do. I do every time.
Yeah.
So share with me where you guys were before you started working with me. And then in terms of growth, right, in all the things that we've been doing, what's been the biggest benefit to you? What's been the biggest thing working with us?
The biggest thing working with Susie is putting all of our operations in place and SOPs. That has been huge because we were able to dial in on um, operations that we thought were in place that actually were not in place. So, and that goes from operations from gift wrap to how to schedule, even
Customer journey.
the customer journey. I mean, it just goes from one extreme of the business to marketing to, like Susie said, the customer journey to the operations behind the scenes, to the buying, to all of the whole operations of the company is all in SOPs. And now, because of Susie's company, when we have a bump in the road, we think, oh, SOP. Let's get it in an SOP. So now it's second nature. It could be the smallest things of emptying, making sure the trash cans are being emptied.
Yeah.
It's just we now know that anything that we need to accomplish and to make our business function would be to have SOPs and have just very strategic operations in
So
place.
what about the number of units, right? That's one thing we've been really working on this year and the SOPs we put together in that. And when we get to our unit goal, what will happen with our sales?
Well, whenever we get to our unit goal with sales, we double the sales because now we have units in a SOP. I always go back to that because that's what I hyper focus on. Because to me, that's the starting point is getting your SOPs for any of it, for the units or any of it. But once we start doubling our units, increasing our units, then our sales start increasing. And double the units, double the sales. And that's with the same customer base.
Right. So talk about the main challenge you were having about growth, because you've been kind of stuck at the same revenue line. And let's talk about what we started looking at to increase the units, the transaction, and the training, because those three things together, it's that we've got to put 10 units of energy in to get 1 unit of result. And then once we get the momentum together, we put 1 unit of energy in to get 10 units of result.
Right. So there again, we with our team, we have really dialed in on training them, adding on units at the counter, even in the dressing room, bringing them that extra piece, the necklace, the this. But a lot of that also comes with our buying strategy has changed because now we focus on not only the tops, the skirt, but what can add into the units. So that's where we've learned that the accessories come into play, which we've always bought, but we haven't always dialed in on it, like as far as it building units. So now we're hyper focused on when we're doing our buying is how many units can that outfit attain,
Yeah.
for the customer.
Right. And then we created the training portal and a pretty comprehensive one. So talk about that with 5 location and how the training portal long term will help Herringstones.
Well, the training portal is so important because our district leader trains all the stores from it. And it's so cool because each manager sends an EOD, a end of day report, every single day based off of the training. And it's so interesting and rewarding to see such and such had 4.0 units today. Let's congratulate her. All of that is reporting, but it's all trained from the portal, from our
Yeah.
district leader that goes to our managers at each of the locations. So now the EODs used to be all over the place. What one manager thought it should be was one thing, and another one, they're almost ditto coming across at the end of the day because of the structure of the training portal.
And how many team members do you have, Debbie?
We have about 30.
Yeah. And then owners, you have 5 owners.
Right.
Yeah.
And we have a manager at each location.
So how has your accountability improved since working with us?
Okay. Accountability is probably my pet peeve because it's like, okay, all these plans and all these operations are great, but what about the execution and then the accountability behind it? That's my big thing. And it's so exciting to see that when the training is put in place and then the accountability from the execution is has been really documented basically on the EODs. Because
Yeah.
when we follow the training portal, then it's all linked in together. And then at the end of the day, at the end of closing, I and the other owners know exactly what's going on in every single store based off of our training and our growth process.
Awesome. So can you share with me, Debbie, like, can you describe the commitment? Because a lot of people think it's going to be time consuming. It's so much more work than the work they're already doing. So can you talk about the time commitment that it takes when we're working together?
Yes, it is. It's a commitment, but as far as time, that's not the case. It's working smarter, not harder.
Right.
And so when you look at it like that, all of the fat of work that you're used to doing goes away and it's replaced with this strategy. Did I make sense?
Yes. And what
Okay.
responsibilities did you have before? And then now, what are you taking care of? And how has that made your life easier?
Well, the work chart. The work chart has been huge because we had our hands in all of it. And there's, like I said, with different owners and everything. And the work chart has put everybody in their lane. And guess what? You get to focus on just your lane and not marketing and then operations and then this and that. I don't have to worry about any of that because someone else has that role.
Yeah.
So, honestly, Susie, the work chart has been a game changer for our company.
Yes. Everyone has their role, everyone has their place. And you're a big business. It should be, right? There's sales,
Right,
operations, finance,
right. And
marketing.
then, like with me, I'm the CMO. I'm a founder, but I work actively as a CMO and I have my people under me. And, it's almost like I've handed off a lot of things that would weigh on me,
Yeah.
that need to be done. And I've trained myself from Susie's program to hand it down,
Yeah.
hand it down. And so that now I just basically approve.
Right. Do it, delegate it, or dump it.
Right, correct.
So, based on the results so far, where do you see the business in the next 6 to 12 months?
We are really excited about getting out of 2024 and entering into 2025. We've been with Susie's company for a year, and I just said a few minutes ago that I'm excited about going to that next level. And we are definitely there because we have our systems in place, and now we're ready to dissect even more of the systems.
I think when I started working with you, I felt like you were the most skeptical, right? I felt like I had to prove myself more to you. I don't know. I made it up, right? Debbie's like this, which is good. I love it. What surprised you most about working with me, or any misconceptions you had with working with me?
I just think the structure of it, I'm a very structured person, and I think how can someone be more structured than, I may have thought I was or we were or whatever, but you don't know what you don't know. And
Yes.
so, when you allow someone to come in that is such a professional as Susie is and has such a great track record, that, you allow that to open up into your company, uh, for growth. And boy, have I learned so much myself as an owner of 35 years. You don't know everything. And and like I said, it's the workload, and it's a lot of work, but it's not as much work than we were doing. And it makes sense, and it's structured, and everybody knows, and our team knows who their boss is. And it's
Yeah.
not me in all areas. Everybody knows who to go to. And that was some confusion in our company too, as well.
And so if someone's on the fence about working with us, what would you tell them?
Oh, I would say absolutely get off the fence and go for it, because you don't know what you don't know. And if you want your company to operate in a structured way with systems from A to Z, you need to jump on now.
So, any final thoughts you want to share with our viewers?
I would like to share that, you know, no matter how long you've been in business, whether it's 1 year or like us, 35 years, it's never too late or too soon to get on board with Susie's company. I'm telling you, I regret not having this in my life and in our company's life way before now. I really do. And you young entrepreneurs out there, jump on it, because it will save you so much heartache and stress. I'm telling you right now, get on it, because I wish we had a done it a long time ago.
And Herringstones is the top 1% in their community, 1% business owner. So when Debbie's talking, Debbie knows exactly what she's talking about. It's not a small boutique. She's got a major brand, a major business, and a family owned business, which has its own challenges, right? I think that's when you were talking about the org chart, that allowing you to be family and then be business owners simultaneously.
Right.
Add anything about that? Because I think that's been huge.
Yes, I totally agree. And we still, there's borderline, you know, conversations on, what lane is this one and that one, but we just have learned to communicate it, because none of us want any more in our lane.
Yeah.
So, we're just all on the same page with that work chart. And
Yes.
and with family, like Susie said, it's very important.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Debbie. I appreciate you. You're a badass and I love you. And I look forward to the next several years playing together, working together, and leveraging what we're up to.
Thank you, Susie.